coming to you from my kitchen. As you can see, I am doing this new recipe today, and I want to take you guys on the journey. I want to take off my headset so I won't feel like I'm yelling at you guys, but I want to take you guys on the journey. I'm going to make a vegan Brunswick stew. And Brunswick stew, I don't know if you've ever had it. It has meat in it, vegetables in it, it's tomato based. It's a big just smorgasbord of deliciousness. But I'm gonna veganize it. Woo woo. Okay, so stick with me as I do this for you guys. Okay, so I'm starting off by turning my stove to a medium-high heat, where I'm heating up the boiler before I place any of my ingredients in there. And I let it heat up for probably about 1.5 to 2 minutes. And then I take my Earth Balance soy-free butter. It is vegan and it has no GMO. Earth Balance. You have to excuse me, this is my first video, my first cooking video. So I was not prepared like I should have been. Okay, so I take about a tablespoon or so, and I just have a really bad habit of coating the bottom of the pan. So that's what I was doing, just making sure the whole pan was coated. And then I took another half a tablespoon and placed it in the pan because I had a lot of veggies that I needed to saute. So while that was melting, I prepared my diced vegetables. So here goes. I start off with carrots, about a cup of carrots, about a cup of onion, and about 1/4 of a cup of scallions, or green onion, whatever you prefer to say. And I just place it all in the pan. Then I grab a spoon and I just begin to stir and incorporate the butter to all of the veggies that are sauteing at that moment. Sorry, I didn't chop them thoroughly. Again, disclaimer, first cooking video. So I stir for a few minutes, and then I grab some minced garlic. And again, a lot of the ingredients is out of focus because I didn't realize what was going on. However, that was about half a tablespoon to a tablespoon of garlic. I'm really not a measurer, especially during the first time me making something. So this is the first time I've made the Brunswick stew. So of course I stir that in along with my onions, my scallions, and my carrots. So I stir, continue to stir. And then I cover for about 2 minutes, just to sweat the vegetables out. Okay, 2 minutes later, I grab my Himalayan pink salt, or pink Himalayan salt. And again, I don't have any measurements. I just eyeball it, and if you need to add more salt, pepper, or any other seasonings after you make this for taste, whatever you desire, I just go by eyeballing it. I'm really anal about making sure all seasonings are incorporated evenly, so I stir just about every time I put something in there. That there is onion powder, Again, that was probably about a teaspoon or something. That's black pepper. I love black pepper, as you can see. I'll get heavy-handed in a minute. And I stir again. Just want everything evenly incorporated. Okay. And I'm still stirring. Alrighty. And now I'm adding a little garlic powder that I tried to show you guys. Didn't measure that either, but again, about a teaspoon. Because I do not use a lot of salt, I do tend to season with other seasonings such as onion powder, garlic powder, and black pepper, and other flavorful items, because I don't do a lot of salt at all. Because I retain water. And of course I'm on this journey to be healthier and fit. Okay, so next I'm adding my diced potatoes. That was about a cup and a half to 2 cups of diced potatoes. Now I use the small russet potatoes, if I said that correctly. So again, I stir. I stir. You guys are probably going to get tired of me stirring, but that's what I do. I stir. Doesn't that look like something that you could just stop right there and eat it over some rice or something? I don't know. Maybe not without the potatoes, but okay. And I added a little trick to mine. Usually they're like black eyed peas or something in there, but I added chickpeas or garbanzo beans. I think that's how you call them. Again, I stir. And this is still all on a medium-high heat. If you have the number system or your stove, it'll probably be around 5 or 6. Alright, I added about a half a cup to a cup of corn. Frozen corn is fine. Canned corn is fine as well, as long as you drain it and you also use fresh corn. Okay. And I have lima beans. And I pour in about a cup. Or half a cup, I'm not really sure. I also have cut okra. Please excuse my kitchen habits and that knife. That was about a half a cup to a cup also of okra. And we stir. And it seems like a lot of vegetables going in there, and it really seems like I don't have enough room, but it really turned out amazing. So I cover again for another 2 minutes. Okay, so as you can see, the vegetables kind of cooked down a little bit, and I'm stirring again. And now I'm adding, you probably will be able to see this, Boca ground crumbles. It is vegan. It's only 70 calories for the serving size. It has no GMO or anything of that nature. And that's about a good cup and a half to 2 cups right there. And it tastes just like ground beef. And right there is the Beyond Meat chicken-free strips, and it's also vegan. It's cholesterol free, no GMOs, and something else that says right there, something else that says right there, and something else that says right there. I can't remember. But that's probably one of the best vegan chicken meats that I've tried in a while. I've tried different brands. And I only put a few strips in only because as it boils and simmers and cooks down, it's going to shred and give you that shredded chicken effect. And you will see later on in this video. Okay, so now I have gone over to the sink. Oh, sorry, not the sink. This is garden veggie bouillon cubes. It's vegan, no GMO, and no artificial flavoring, all natural flavoring. And so I took one of the cubes, and you should see it in a second. And it's a really soft cube, and it dissolves very easily. So I just took my spoon and scraped it into my pan. That rocket science right there, right? And so now I'm going over to the sink, and I'm gonna get about 4 to 5, maybe 6 cups of water. I just eyeballed it. I promise you, I eyeballed it. I got my Jamaican cup, you see? I love you all. So I fill in a little cup, and I love that cup because if I want some cold water real quick and I don't have any ice, that water, that cup pops in the freezer really quick, comes out, and you got your cold water. So I was guessing that each one of those cups were 2 cups of equivalent to 2 cups of water. So let's say that's about 6 cups of water. Okay. And I stir. Yes. That already looked good right there. I could just stop right there. But who wants to stop right there when you can add in these nice chopped tomatoes? I chopped those up myself. Thank you. I'll be here all your life. Yeah, no, I'm silly. And of course, what did I have to do? I had to stir it. I can't even talk today. I think I spent most of this video stirring, right? Again, that wasn't a thorough cutting job, so I tend to cut up the pieces while they're in the boiler. And then I added 2 more cans of stewed tomato by Hunt, all natural, 100% natural. And I just poured the whole can over in there. Oh my gosh. And another can. And it just seems like so much, right? Like if I add anything else, the whole pot is gonna just boil over, but it didn't. It was really the right amount of everything. Again, I eyeballed the measurements, and I put that's about a tablespoon, but then I came back a little later and added about 2 more tablespoons. Not right there, but you did off camera. I added about 2 more tablespoons of the ketchup, and oh yeah, Frank's Red Hot, sorry. And I just pour the dash in there like that. This is all based off your taste. Yes, Sweet Baby Ray's. I love this stuff. And I also added more off camera. And one more thing I added off camera was some about a tablespoon of yellow mustard. And from here, you're going to bring this to a boil, and then once it comes to a boil, turn it down, cover it up, and let it simmer for about an hour. So after an hour or so, it's still simmering. And I added some nutritional yeast. Gives you a little more flavor, and it also helps thicken it up a little bit. And for those who don't know what nutritional yeast is, God's It's vegan's amazingness. Like, I can't even explain what it is, but it's very nutritional as far as your vitamin B and things of that nature. But most vegans usually use that as a cheese substitute. Here I'm just using it for flavoring and thickening. As you can see, it kind of already thickened up that soup, right? So then I grab, I don't know what I grabbed here. Oh, you watched it simmer. Okay, I remember what was happening here. Okay, so at this moment I was allowing my pot to come up to a roaring or a pretty high boil because I was making a thickening agent, and I was using rice flour and I was using water, very cold water. Some type of chemical reaction happens when you put the cold thickening agent into a very hot mixture. So that was happening here. But while I wait for this to boil, please let me know. Please comment below if you want to see me do more first time meal videos, because for this particular meal I looked all over YouTube for a vegan version of it and I really didn't see much. So I basically went on a whim here and I decided to think about the ingredients that may be in your normal Brunswick stew, and I just mimicked it and found vegan versions of most of those ingredients and called it a day. So as you can see here, it is starting to really boil. So I came over with my mixture again. It's cold water and rice flour. I use about a tablespoon of rice flour to about a fourth of a cup of water, and just kind of make sure you get it all out. And so again, you want to keep it boiling until you thoroughly incorporate all of your thickening agent throughout the mixture. So I got a spoon, of course, and I began to stir everything in. Yes. But yeah, there are so many recipes that I used to love when I ate, was a meat eater. And so I wanted to incorporate them into my diet, but I want them to be a vegan version of it. So as you can see right here, it is boiling fully. So at this point, you could turn down your eye a little bit back down to maybe a low medium, so about 3 if you're looking at the number system. I did stir it one more time just to make sure everything was incorporated. So I covered it up for another 15 to 20 minutes, or I think, no, actually it was like 30 minutes. And I covered it up, and here is the final product. Isn't it like amazing? Nice and thick and full of just deliciousness. So thank you again for watching. Remember to like, thumbs me up, comment, and subscribe. Talk to you guys later. Goodbye.